work any miracles? Unless you could win the lottery, we could really use $1 million. That would be super.
For you, or you personally, or your league?
The
or
league.
The Minnesota?
I honestly thought about
Sure
doing
Fellow
that.
program?
Yeah, buying tickets for the league, you know. Thought about it, I just never buy lottery tickets. Perfection, we don't, you're not gonna be, nothing's perfect. Don't expect to be perfect. So a good example, and you'll probably hear this again later, so somebody calls you and they're real discouraged because they had a member event and they really wanted to get 5 members. They thought they could get 5 members and they only got 3. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
You should be like, wow, you got 3 members. Okay. So, and it's a process, not, it's a process. You can set some goals, but it's a process. So you're not gonna get instantaneous success. You look for success along the way. There we go, it's a process. I love this one, the life cycle of any team or group, and maybe Molly knows this, I don't know, from your sales training, but I love this, the forming, the storming, the norming, and the performing. And any of us who've been in groups, and that includes state boards or local league boards, you're always a little bit uncertain in the beginning. You always have a little bit of conflict. Somehow that sorts itself out and you end up as a real team. And if you're really lucky, that happens really fast. And if you're just kind of moderately lucky, it happens in pretty good time. So it's great to be, as we all know, it's great to be on a performing team, a really fully functioning team. A team from the local league ideal is the ideal. You want to be talking to people who are cooperating with each other from your local league, because certainly you may encounter the other situation. I'm just saying, it might not happen. Let's hope it doesn't, but it could.
How would you make that?
How would I make?
How would you assist?
See, Florence got to put me on the spot here. I don't know, other than driving there and knocking their heads together. No, seriously, we would never do that. I don't know. But sometimes there's conflict and you just have to work your way or wind your way through that. It's great for your interpersonal skill development. Keep it that way. Or sometimes I don't have it.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to change the meeting date and not tell one of them.
There you go. Tracy, you did not hear that.
One phrase that I've heard a leader use is hold tension in life-giving ways.
Oh, my goodness.
So the idea is in healthy discourse and working with other people, healthy has tension,
Yeah.
but try to hold it in a way that.
That's, thank you, a very good point. You can maybe produce more that, you produce more interesting things that way, be more creative that way, I think that's that.
Anybody who's had a baby. You remember, right?
Yes, right.
So what does this actually look like that you're doing every month though? The state coach will set up a meeting. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself again. You set up a meeting with your local league teams. A meeting, and just usually a phone conversation, maybe Skype if you can do that. It can be as short and as to the point as you wish, or as long and as drawn out as you wish. But you touch base with both of your teams separately, and then the state coaches and the state coordinator, that's Tracy, you all get together.
No, that's state coordinator is.
I'm sorry. The state coordinator communicates separately. I wasn't in on that part, so I didn't have to do this. The state coordinator is communicating with the national coach.
I have a question. How do you get the local teams? Is it the local membership chair and officers, or do the local membership chair find people to be on our team?
The local league will have found someone to be this team.
Okay.
In other words, so they're supposed to focus on membership, talk to you, and get some interaction going there. So the state coach all the state coaches and the state coordinator in the state communicate with the national coach. That's Tracy. Okay. So, yeah, we spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time doing that. Now what do we do? Okay, now what do we do? So, physically, let me just review that. You're meeting on the phone or by email or Skype or whatever with your local league groups. You do that separately. And then together, all the coaches come together with the state coordinator and you discuss some issues with the national coach. That's Tracy. You really have 4 roles. I mentioned mentor already, because those of us with a little bit more league experience are probably pretty good mentors in terms of knowing what's what and where to go to for things, how to find things, you know, just being helpful like that. You're a cheerleader. That's back to we wanted 5 members, we got 3. You know, you're just trying to give people encouragement when they're feeling discouraged. You're an accountability coach, which sounds the most ominous, but it's basically saying if somebody told you 3 weeks ago, well, we're going to have a membership meeting and we're going to do this and this and this and we're going to use new sign-up sheets and we're going to try some new things. Just checking in, did they do those things? How did that work? Is it effective? So all through this, you're a communicator. I'm just trying to find out what's going on and can you be helpful and can you make it better? Can you help make it better? So mentor, wise and trusted counselor, influential sponsor or supporter. So I've kind of been over this already. You'll debrief on recent activities. You'll help them kind of guide them through. You'll know what I mean when you get into a discussion. So you just want to be very supportive. And then the only disclaimer here is that if someone tells you something in confidence, so say there's problems on the board or they're really some conflict with their local president or any number of things, if they want confidentiality, that means confidentiality. You don't tell anybody else. So that's just between you and that person. You're a cheerleader to help, to applaud their successes, to remind them of the great things that they're doing, even if they're not feeling like they're doing great things. Positivity does rub off, as we mentioned earlier. You're an accountability coach, so you want to just kind of keep them on track, but it isn't punitive. If they've got some bad habits, you want to try to get them out of bad habits. Encourage them out of bad habits. Okay? And so just to keep on track, we report consistently. All right, there is an online survey that comes from National, and you fill that out. It's just a way to, it doesn't even take, it never takes me that long, 8 or 10 minutes, a few minutes. And you communicate with your state coach if there are issues, with your national coach also. You get an email each month, and actually there's a lot of resources you can get if you want them. You'll have an opportunity to sign up to a Yahoo Groups page. It's a terrific resource page. What you'll see. Not very much on this particular slide, but that's just a little indication of the, you just check off some stuff on the survey. It's not tough. It's asking you what happened and what went on. If you have issues. And then membership numbers are going to be given to state coaching teams 2 times a year, so you can kind of gauge progress. Alrighty, success is more than numbers. If we just managed to increase the visibility of the league and kept membership steady, it would still be a fantastic thing. Not that I'm saying we do want more members. It just kind of depends on the community. So success is increasing visibility, which usually includes or means collaborating with media and other organizations. It means through connecting more levels with the league. sometimes there's such a disconnect between local leagues and state. State has a lot of resources, so it's unfortunate when that happens. And also just more of a pride in what people are doing and we can do this attitude. And also strategic planning could be really important for local leagues if they'll do it. And you're a communicator, that's your fourth role, a communicator, you're an ambassador between all the levels of league, and you're sharing a lot of information. I'm thinking that's it. We get Andromeda or something.
It's like a fun place.
All right,
Well, thank you, Miriam.
okay.
Any questions? Now we'll take a break till 11 o'clock or so. Any questions so far?
Comments? Or as a professor of mine used to say, questions, comments, criticisms, or objections. Now's the time.
Just I have a comment.
Let's
Great job.
That's really,
Little
really.
piece I got. Great.
Okay.
And Miriam, will your slides be available, or did I miss that part? Will we get?
We're online at Yahoo.
They're online, yes, you can see everything.
We can see it, so for
You
refreshing.
can use them again, yeah. You can read them through them again, or you can use them yourself, in fact.
Just kind of remind.
You'll get that before the day's end, where everything is
Okay.
super.
Well, I would just like to say that it took me a while to read. Well, I think I've only done one survey. I keep forgetting to do that, but at least I connected. And so it just is a growing process to get everything all organized. But I thought it was tremendous help to have that national phone call with Tracy and Deb, and to hear what other leagues were doing and what they were dealing with and so on. And so you grow as a coach by hearing what other people are doing, and it gives you a really great feedback. Also, I had 2 leagues that were local, so I didn't call. I went to the board, and I have to learn to do the calling, because people are going to tell you stuff on the phone that they probably aren't going to say in front of the whole board. But it was very exciting to find out what other people were doing, and in a couple cases, we got some resources from another league to have programs for our leagues. And I
And
have
vice
to,
versa.
yeah.
I mean, it's not just a one-way street, that's what's so incredible.
Well, and the Metro Blast, I think, is just a huge resource for everybody. In fact, we had 2 people from our league in Rapids go all the way down to Bloomington because they saw on the Metro Blast the topic that was under discussion that they were really interested in. So it is another way to bring people in.
What's the Metro Blast?
Well, it's something comes out from the state office, right?
Yes, go ahead.
And so it'll come up on your email.
It's an email, it's actually started out years ago as LWVMN Share, and so it's an email list. You have to subscribe to it if you want these emails, and it will send out a notice.
Actually, the Metro Blast goes out to all members with email in the metro area,
Okay,
whether you subscribe or not.
but you could subscribe.
We
if you-
could add people,
But there's a
especially.
blast that comes out to everybody.
Right, we do the all-member email blast twice a month during the legislative session and once a month when it's off session. But certainly, if people would like to be added to the Metro Blast, the coaches, I mean, maybe those who aren't in the metro area, we can certainly do that.
Suzanne, do you get the capital letter? I get lots of emails from the, I don't know what they're all called, but, no, well, that
yeah.
would be included with the capital blast, would have your report from the Capitol.
The all-member email
Yeah,
blast.
I get that.
You get that, but you're not sure if you get that then?
I don't know what it's called.
It would be called e-blast, right? In the subject
E-newsletter, I think is
Yeah.
what it's called.
There's the newsletter, and so they don't come so frequently that you're like, and these blasts can be of an event to which all league members are invited, and,
It's more the legislative stuff I get.
okay, then you're probably not
That's
on
the
that.
action, yeah.
Yeah, the action
You
stuff.
get the action stuff.
So the email blasts that Deb was, and Kathy were referring to are helpful because you can see some programs that are going on. It's like, wow, how did they score that deal and get those people to come speak?
Yes, and
So
can we
you
have
have
the
great
contact
ideas.
information?
Great ideas
And
for
well, we
programs.
did. It was Kathleen Nola, the hyphenated last name, that was talking about the restructuring, and of course, everybody had a lot of questions about that. So she came and talked to our league as well as the league that, I guess it was St. Louis.
Norton. Doran Martin.
Yeah.
Getting back to coaching, I just want to make a comment. Miriam would always apologize when she would call me because, you know, you would say, well, I haven't been doing my job or something. But I just want you to know that Miriam was our coach for our league. And when she called, she was my coach then. And I wasn't the state coordinator, I was the president of the Wayzata Plymouth League. And so I wanted her to talk to me as the president. And you would always come up with ideas that I had not thought of. And so I greatly appreciate that. So don't feel that, you know, you're talking to someone, they should know everything, because sometimes you don't. And you can give them just as much help as another league. So, you know, approach it as, you know, giving your all. So thank you, Mary.
It is a shared experience, and we learn and we give. It's an amazing piece. And the other thing that I think that is so really brilliant about all of this is that we begin to identify as a whole and not as our own little place out in the booms. But we are a part of something very big.
And I think our coaches got that with the past year, because you're hearing from across the state, and it's really exciting. It's one of the pluses of being involved with this. You hear about what Red River Valley is doing, what Monona's doing, what, you know, Duluth is doing. It's very impressive.
Well, wasn't we added 16 new people?
No.
Somebody did.
Yes.
Whoa, who was that? Well, that was on one of those state calls.
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, well, should we take a break?